Unlock financial freedom on your journey through life with this easy-to-follow guide on how to build a budget. Welcome everyone to the channel. I'm Dr. Budget, and today we're going to go over the steps on how to build the perfect budget that fits your needs. Now, you might think that budgets are a waste of time and energy. You might even believe that instead of budgeting, you just need to earn more money. While that may be true to some degree, budgeting is a powerful tool in your financial toolbox. Budgeting allows you to take control of your spending by giving each dollar you earn a job. It's in your best interest that your money works for you, both for day-to-day expenses for today and for your future self. With that said, let's dive into the steps you need to take to build the perfect budget for you. Step 1. Check your mindset. Why is this important? Well, to have a healthy financial outlook, you need to have a healthy mindset about money. You need to understand that money is a tool. Don't treat money like an idol, and don't hate it either. Let me explain further with the money attitude spectrum. On one hand, you treat money as something that needs to be vilified, something that brings the worst out in people and needs to be avoided at all costs, needing only essentials to survive. On the other hand, you worship money to the point of it being your god. It controls every thought and emotion you have, and your end goal is to accumulate $1 more. Both ends of the spectrum are bad. We need to be somewhere in the middle. We need to acknowledge its presence in our society, yet we need to be indifferent towards it. Money is a tool. It is not good nor evil. Once you adopt the mindset that money is a tool that can be used to help or hinder others, yourself included, you can move to the second step. Step 2. Set goals. You need to have a reason to budget, otherwise you wouldn't do it. What is your why? Perhaps a comfortable retirement, maybe a new car, planning that dream vacation, or home renovations. Maybe you have a pile of debt you need to tackle. I recommend taking on at least one short-term goal and one long-term goal. Short-term goals are things you want to achieve in under 5 years, whereas long-term goals go beyond that. An easy long-term goal to pick, if you don't have one, is retirement. That's always a good safe option to go with. Remember, when you set your goals, you need to have the 5 main elements of an effective goal: specific, measurable, achievable, relevant, time-bound. These goals are called SMART goals. A good example of a SMART goal would be, I want to have $5,000 saved up in 2 years for the purpose of a vacation. I will do this by saving an extra $210 a month by tracking my spending and preventing impulse purchases, or by earning an extra $210 a month by mowing lawns, shoveling snow, and driving for Uber or Skip. Step 3. Track expenses and income. We have a good mindset, and we've established a couple of goals now. Now, let's track your expenses. We need to have a good baseline of where we are at when it comes to spending. Gather your statements from all your checking, savings, and credit card accounts from the last 3 months, as applicable. Now, take each transaction, whether it's income or expenses, and sort them into different categories per month. Make a category for renting/mortgage payments, others for utilities, clothing, groceries. You get the idea. Anything and everything needs a category. Don't leave anything without one. You can either use a budgeting app like YNAB or Mint, or you simply use Google Sheets, Excel, or even a pen and paper. Regardless of how you do it, we want to establish the habit of tracking where you spend your income. Do you spend $400 a month on Starbucks? Maybe $700 eating out. You might be surprised what you find out when you track your spending. Step 4. Needs versus wants. Now that all the transactions are categorized, we are going to add another category to all the transactions: needs versus wants. Here's a simple rule of thumb. If you need to spend money on it to survive, it's a need. If you don't need it to survive, it's a want. In this area, you need to be honest with yourself. You don't need Starbucks every morning. You don't need Netflix. These are wants. Now, we aren't here to shame wants or needs. I have wants and needs just like you. We are simply trying to figure out what is a need and what a want is. Something else to remember is that not everyone has the same needs and wants. Some people need a gym membership due to them being a trainer or an athlete, and they need the equipment at a gym to do their workouts. Others may think that a gym membership is more of a want, in that they can get a good workout at home, and that's all they really do anyway. Step 5. Continue to track your expenses for 30 days. All right, now we have done the work of finding out all of our expenses for the last few months, and we've determined what our wants and needs are. What I want to do is track your expenses for the next 30 days. Whatever you spend your money on, that's what you'll track. We are gathering more data at this point, and hopefully you are becoming more mindful of when you reach for that plastic card in your wallet. This will hopefully give you an idea of what a typical month of spending looks like. Number 6, spending diet. Here's where the challenge really begins. Once you've tracked for the 30 days, we are going to go on a spending diet. We are going to cut all the wants from your spending for the next 30 days and simply focus on the needs. Cut out the entertainment, the eating out, the new designer shoes, the new clothes, after-work drinks. Cut them all out. Buy the most essentials and basic food. Keep the heat and lights on and the rent paid. Postpone the car wash, the home renovations, etc. If it's a want, postpone it. If it's a need, spend as little as you can. It's only for 30 days. You can do it. While you are doing this, continue to track your spending and categorize them. Step 7. Analyze the last 60 days and build your budget. Okay, you've done the 30 days of no spending. How do you feel? Relieved? I bet. Now, let's look at your spending over the last 2 months. How do they compare? Do you see any savings? What do you notice about your bank account? Maybe your credit card? Do they look different in terms of the balance? I hope so. Now that we have a normal month and a lean month, let's take the two numbers and find the median number. That will become our starting point for our new budget. As an example, if your monthly spending was $3,000 normally and your lean month was around $1,800 in spending, let's use this middle number of $2,400 as our starting point for your new budget. Remember, this number is fluid and can change from month to month. You may even need to adjust downwards if your income can't cover the suggested starting point. Step 8. Revise monthly. All right, now that you have created a budget that fits your needs, always look back on each month to track your progress on hitting those goals of yours. Did you spend a little more than you anticipated in a certain category? Adjust it up. Did you spend a little less than anticipated? Adjust it down. Expecting to buy gifts or something big this month? Put it in the budget and trim other areas to accommodate as needed. How is your income? Can it cover your budget? Great. Do you have any spare money at the end of each month? Awesome. See if you can adjust some categories to either enhance your lifestyle or put more towards your goals to meet them faster. Are you still short on your income when it comes to the lean months? Maybe it's time to consider your options for making more money or finding ways to save on your current expenses. Maybe even a combination of both. Find a roommate, find a promotion, do some side hustles, sell things you no longer need or use, etc. Get creative with finding solutions to the problems you are facing. You will find that you will grow as a person when you find solutions to overcome your problems. Wow, we've covered a lot today. We've covered the main steps in building a budget that fits your needs, and you now have a well-seasoned budget to build off and adjust as you see fit. Your first budget won't be perfect. Sometimes even my budget goes sideways from time to time. It's important to learn what has happened when it goes sideways and ultimately find ways to get yourself back on track. Over time, you'll become a budgeting wizard and can whip one up in as little as 30 minutes in a month. If you want to learn more and get a more in-depth look on how budgets work, I have an ebook on my Gumroad called Budgeting 101. It goes over the steps in more detail, the types of budgets, and which one I prefer for my finances. Be sure to check it out in the link below. As always, thank you for watching. If you learned something, consider liking the video and subscribing to the Dr. Budget channel, where I share more financial tips to get you on the road to financial health. Also, be sure to check out my Twitter and my Gumroad for my other ebooks. Don't forget to check out my last video where I go over 10 powerful financial lessons you need to learn. Thanks for watching, and I'll see you next time.